to Divinely Human, where divine wisdom meets everyday life. I'm your host, Asha Rose, therapist, author, and spiritual teacher. This is a space where psychology meets spirituality, where we explore healing, self-trust, and the journey of remembering who we truly are. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's explore what it truly means to be divinely human. Hello, everybody. So, have you ever found yourself asking, what do my cards say today? Going to your astrology or reaching out to psychics, calling a friend before you ask your higher self, before you trust your own wisdom, before you connect to your own inner sense of knowing, before asking, what do I know to be true? So today's conversation is an exciting one, and it isn't about whether spiritual tools are good or bad, because I love spiritual tools. I pull cards every day. I listen to my astrology. This is about how do we use these tools without losing connection to our inner self? Because at the end of the day, tools, pendulums, cards, it's the cherry on top. It's a tool that we use to connect to the wisdom because you are the universe. And today's guest, I'm really excited to bring her on because she uses tools to help people connect to their inner knowing and to reveal the shadow self, to show us what it is that we need to transform and alchemize to release ourselves of the limitations and the protective patterns that keep us in a sense of lack. Now, before we dive in today, I invite you to silence your phone, to give yourself an opportunity to connect to your own inner wisdom. If you're new, if you're watching me on W4W, or if you're on YouTube, welcome. My name is Asha Rose. I am a divine channel. I am a therapist. I am a spiritual teacher. And the goal of this show is to connect you to your own inner knowing. We bridge the human and the divine. And every time we meet here, I open up the show with an opportunity for you to connect to your own inner knowing. So before we invite in that sense of connection, I just want you to take a moment to reflect on the times where you've outsourced your inner knowing, where you've looked outside of yourself and you've doubted your own intuition, because the spiritual tools we use are just arrows that point us in the right direction. But at the end of the day, you are the arrow. You are the direction, and all roads lead home to your inner knowing. So I want you to take a moment to just reflect on when you've outsourced your inner knowing. And I invite you to comment. I invite you to ask questions. When our guest comes on, we're going to be opening up the floor for questions. And if something hits home today, please comment on it. When have you outsourced your inner knowing? Have you gotten an intuitive hit and asked, is this real? Is this true? Now, I want to let you know that if that's you, if you ask yourself, if you doubt, is this real? Is this true? The imagination is the way that we create our reality. So take a deep breath, reflect on when you've outsourced your inner knowing, when you've doubted your intuition. When was the last time that you got an intuitive hit and you doubted it? Because the way that the universe, the way that source communicates to us is subtle. It's through the subtle energy realms. It's through a felt sense of knowing. It's not through the logical mind. The logical mind is the last part of that connection. The feeling is how we connect to our inner knowing. So when have you had a feeling that you bypassed, that you doubted? I'll go anyway to the party, or this person's okay, even though when you first met them, there was a sinking feeling in your heart. So I want you to focus in on those moments. I want you to return to those moments and know that that is you, that is you speaking to you. And when you ask your guides and when you go to your astrology, when you pull your cards, that's all you too. It's just a way to access that inner knowing. So today's conversation revolves all around that. And when she comes on, we're going to also talk about our higher self. So, what is the higher self? How do we connect to it? And before we bring her on, I want you to take a moment to invite in your higher self. Now, some of you watching may be like, what? What is that? I don't know how to do that. All we're going to do is just take a moment to slow down, to create some silence, and to invite in some wisdom, to invite in some answers, to invite in some counsel. That's it. Every morning when I wake up, before I pull out my phone, I ask my spirit team, my higher self, my angels, my guides, my dragons, what do I need to know today? What do I need to know today? And sometimes it's very loud and very direct, and it surprises me. Other times I don't hear anything. And sometimes it's just a feeling. The more you practice this, the more you're going to trust what you receive without judging it. So take a deep breath with me and just focus in on your heartbeat, letting go of the stress of the week, of the month, and just feeling the air in the room, feeling your clothes on your skin. Taking this opportunity to create a space to receive. This is your moment to receive. That's it. That's all you have to do. And when we open this door to receive, we connect to our heart and we ground ourselves to the earth. Because the answers, they don't come from up there. They come from within you. And the closer you are to the earth, the more connected you are, the more grounded you are, and the more you can receive. So before we open up this door for divine communication, just take a moment to ground yourself to the earth. Imagine you are cradled in the center of the earth. You are held, you are warm. And if any thoughts pop in, just roll with them. Let them come in, let them pass. Putting yourself in the heart of the earth and just asking the question, what would it feel like to receive guidance and to trust it? What would that feel like in your body? What would it feel like to receive guidance and to trust it? What would that feel like, just going with the feeling? And as you start to invite in this feeling, I want you to imagine that you're creating a beautiful invitation to receive and just asking, what does my higher self want me to know today? And just receive what comes through. What do I need to know today? You may draw a blank. You may have thoughts pop in. Maybe there's a color or a feeling. You can ask for a symbol, but just trust. What would it feel like to receive without doubting? And what do I need to know today? You are capable of this. Just receiving. And allowing yourself to trust what it is that you received. And I would love to hear what you guys received. If at any point you want to share that with me. I am so excited to have Asia Golden on the show. She's a close friend of mine. She is an astrologer. She is a channel. She works with the dragons. She works with Isis and Mother Mary, the mantis beings. She is founder of the Quantum Soul Codex. She's going to explain to us what that is. And she's an astrologer, but she works with deep astrology, looking at the shadow aspects to help you live your best life. Welcome, Asia Golden, onto the show. Yay! How are you?
Thank you, thank you. Mwah. I'm good.
So,
I'm calling the dragons in right now because it's I'm in Italy and the infrastructure of everything is funky.
so your audio is a little tingy. Like you're
Yeah,
can you hear that? I don't know
I
if you
can't
can
hear
fix
it,
that.
but I can imagine it might be because I noticed it. Why?
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know if you can fix it.
No,
We can roll with it. I just
yeah, I can. I'm going to turn it up. See if that helps. Is that helping at all?
no, I don't know. It's okay. We'll roll with it. So
Okay.
it's all good. So
Welcome to Italy.
welcome to Divinely Human. So what does
Right.
divinely human mean to you, Asia? What does
Mm.
that mean to you?
It means living with 2 feet on the ground
Hmm.
and our heart connected to source
Hmm.
always.
I love that. So
Yeah.
being open here, but being grounded in the present
Yeah.
moment.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would love,
A lot of people want to travel that way, up, 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 but we really have to travel downward and ground to this beautiful earth.
and why, and tell people why is that important?
So, oh, good. I'm so,
Oh,
someone said
good.
that sounds
Sounds
fun.
fine. Good. Okay.
Why is that important? Because if we're always living like with a wish, a desire for something outside of ourselves,
Mm,
we're not going to manifest the home in our heart that we want because
mm,
we're always searching outside of
mm,
ourselves, and the search isn't outside of ourselves, it's here. And the
mm,
earth and Mother Earth, Lady Gaia, the trees,
mm,
everything is here, like, come, sit
be
quiet,
present.
be present in the moment. That's
Right.
Isis likes to say, be present in the present moment.
Ooh, I love that. Be present in the present.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because right, because if you're always searching, if you're always looking, you're missing out on the opportunity to create in the now. And that's where our most powerful manifestations are created from, the now moment, right?
Exactly.
So if
Exactly.
we're always kind of looking, we're always trying to be somewhere we're not quite yet.
Yeah, because there is no future, there is no past, there is only
Mhm.
the moment of now. And that's those are ancient Vedic teachings, Tibetan
Mhm.
Buddhism teaching. These are like, you don't have a past, you did have a future. I mean, even in quantum physics now, they're realizing your actions now are
Mm,
changing your past. I mean,
mm,
wow, think
mm.
about that.
Right. So the timeline's constantly shifting because we're constantly shifting, right? In every moment,
Exactly.
we're constantly
Hmm.
moving, we're
Totally.
constantly shifting. So that's a good segue. So because we're constantly shifting, we're constantly moving, how do you read people? How do you, when you go read the astrology, when you work with people, how does that how does that work since things are constantly changing, constantly shifting?
Mm-hmm. Well, so my astrology program, the Quantum Soul Codex, is quite different than the mundane astrology, which is the everyday that you hear online. Um, okay, we're going to get really out there for a moment. So, a few years back, I got really bored with astrology, to be honest. I studied it since I was 20, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, yeah, okay. And, and, and
Right, there's
so,
more, like, there's
and
more.
there was something more. And a few years back, I had I had a lot of tomato plants growing, and this very large mantis showed up one day. And I'm like,
Oh, I just
who
had
are
one outside
you?
yesterday.
I know. And so that's why I'm like, there's a message for you. So the mantis, let's say, backstory, mantis are actually a very, very advanced civilization. They have a planet. It is not in this galaxy. It's in another universe. They helped bring astrology to this planet. They worked with a lot of high beings. They call me the light navigator. They hit the light code navigator, actually. And so they came, and I'm like, something, you're trying to tell me something. And I wasn't listening very well. So then they had to come back, and then they actually, I have no idea what they did, but all of a sudden I was gone. I was on their planet. They're showing me this stuff. And then we're like flying over to Sirius B, and they're like, here's this, you created the Quantum Soul Codex on another timeline, and now it's time to bring it forward. Humanity can do this. Humanity can understand this now.
So you had,
and I was like,
it, and they were reminding you of it. They were bringing it back to that moment to bring it here now, right?
Exactly. And I was like, oh, well, this is dynamic. Okay, sure. And so they showed me through light coding and through visualization, which that's one of my strong suits, is the visualizations. And I do hear the channeling. And so we started to develop it together so I could remember. And so what the Quantum Solar Codex, let's break it down. We are quantum, we are light, we are
Can you explain to people what quantum means?
Quantum is, in the simplest terms, we're all magical. Okay? Quantum
everywhere, all at once.
Magic. Yeah. And in the word magic is I am. Right? And I am is your monad. So we are going into the higher self realm and to the monad when we're in our quantum state. Because we're light frequency. It's light frequency. That's what quantum, it's light frequency. And that's what timelines are, is the light frequency. So as we shift our frequency, we shift timelines because the frequency is light. Right?
And the monad
we're energies. And the monad is our highest consciousness, and it is tied directly to source. I call source Christos Sophia. That's my choice. You can call God, Goddess, Sophia, whoever you want. That's my choice, because Christos Sophia is the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together in prayer. And that's what we're coming back to.
So I love how we're getting so deep already, right? It's like it's like right to like quantum. No, so
we haven't even gotten to the second word.
So let's pull it back for a second, because this is where I'm being called to go. So, we both are channels, right? We both connect to the dragons. We both speak light language. We're connected to ascended masters and different beings, galactic beings, astral travel. So, but yet we're both very grounded. So, and this show is called Divinely Human, and we're both pretty like far out, right? But yet both pretty grounded. So how would you say that you've been able to balance that in your life? Like, how has that shown up for you as far as being a channel and going to the Sirius B and connecting to Ashtar and but also being human, and how has that shown up for you in your life? Does that make sense?
I stay grounded. I work with Lady Gaia intensely, pretty much every single day, first thing in the morning, right? So everyone has a spark, right in your sternum, right? The spark of source, the spark, your monad is there, right? Your higher self is constantly communicating with you. So you put that spark, which I use the violet flame, and then when I call on source and bring down the white light, whoosh, and I go straight down to the center of the earth where Lady Gaia's realm is, Mother Earth, and there's a big crystal there, huge. You think big and go 10 times bigger. And I wrap my cord around that crystal and ground to the center of the earth every single day, every morning, first thing in the morning when I put my feet on the ground. And it's so important, because otherwise we would float off. And I've flown, I've traveled. So that's, Hug a Tree is no joke, because they are so grounded. There's
Oh,
some
I
of the
love the
most
trees.
magnificent beings on this planet. And here where I am in Italy, the chestnut groves are ancient. They're
Wow.
just ancient here, and there's been a lot of centuries and centuries of magic and ritual in groves. So
With the chestnut trees?
yeah, they're super
Wow.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the trees. So you're saying every morning to help you, integrate, right? Because what we're talking about is integration, right? Like
yeah.
being
Mhm.
a channel and using those abilities, but also living your human life. You're saying you connect to sort of like the crystal in the center of the earth that helps you stay grounded.
Yeah,
Were you sort of
absolutely.
like given that? Like,
Yes, it is an ancient practice. It actually it goes it's okay. So I have to step back because we're electrical and magnetic beings, right?
mm,
Our electricity that is our thoughts, right? The
that's right.
magnetic energy is our emotions.
Mm,
So
right.
what this grounding practice was taught from the ancient Vedic Tibetan masters taught me, you take that cord and you pull all the electricity, that all those thoughts that don't serve you, and
Mm.
you plug it in down into the center of the earth.
Wow.
It's like a plug, right?
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
you take that kundalini energy, the serpent energy, the serpentine, and she pulls out all the emotional baggage in our bodies that we don't
Wow.
need. And she spirals down on that grounding cord, and she just melds into Mother Earth. And wow, you're just like, okay.
Wow.
You just immediately, because during the day we have thousands and thousands of thoughts, and probably 1% of
Yes.
those thoughts are ours, maybe.
Can you say that again? Because I feel like people really need not
Yeah,
every thought that
yeah.
you have is yours.
Not everything. Okay, we have hundreds of thousands of thoughts probably in one day.
Yes.
Maybe, and I'm saying maybe 1% of those thoughts are actually yours,
Wow.
because we're antennas, right? We have this electrical magnetic energy,
That's
we
right.
have a field, and
Mhm.
so we pick up, and that's why we need to ground,
And then we think
because
we think it's ours. We think it's all ours, that it all belongs to us. Right.
yeah, have you ever done that and you're like walking along and you like this really, I don't even want to say some of the craziest thoughts, and I'm like,
Yes. Yeah.
okay, definitely not my thought.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
goodbye.
does this, somebody once taught me, does this how much of this belongs to me? 80%, 90%? Like asking, is this mine? Like how much of this is mine? And sometimes
Exactly.
I'll get like 10% and I'm like, "Oh my God." How often are we receiving signals, right? That aren't
Yeah,
ours, especially with these things.
constantly.
Right.
Constantly. So that's
Right.
why it's important to touch, right? The EMFs are huge, right? The
Right.
towers. Oh, we were not going to go down that rabbit hole. However, it is really, really important to make at nighttime, make sure you shut your phone down, right?
Yes.
Don't put it on airplane mode if you don't want to turn it
Get
off,
an
but
alarm
do
clock. Don't use your phone. Yeah.
don't yeah, you just shut it down. Stay
Yeah.
away from it. Even I have a bag that's an EMF protector. I
Oh.
put my I throw my phone in that. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't want everyone else's thoughts around me.
Okay, so this is great. So you're saying, so we are electrical, we are magnetic, our thoughts are electrical, our emotions are magnetic. So
Yeah.
we are like satellite dishes and we're constantly giving and receiving energy.
Yes. Yeah, we are, yeah, constantly
Yeah.
receiving, constantly putting out too. This is a funny because my mom was like an avatar and very psychic too. It's on my Italian mother's side for sure. And when I was a little girl, she goes, we were taking a walk. She's like, your thoughts create. So you have to be really careful about what you're thinking towards others. And I'm like,
Yes.
and of course, I'm so impressioned. I'm like, well, I don't want to harm anyone. So
How
she's
old
like,
were you?
I was like 7.
Oh,
And she
okay.
said, and so she said, you have to transform it. So when I was a child, I transformed all my negative thoughts into daisies.
Oh, I love that.
And
Guys
still to this
listening, guys,
day, I do it.
I'm gonna do that. All right.
It's great. Yeah. And then the daisies will pop up when I'm really in a like funky mood. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I got, ooh, okay, daisies everywhere. Woo.
Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, I want to talk more about this and protection and how we shield and protect ourselves. And I think that's really
Sounds
important.
great.
Taking a quick
Yeah, it
break.
is
We'll
really
be right
important.
back. We'll be right back. Have you ever felt like you knew exactly what you wanted to say and then talked yourself out of saying it? Maybe you've questioned an intuitive message, or rewritten a post you wanted to share, or convinced yourself you're not quite ready to share what you know with the world. You see, most women think that they need more confidence or a better message or some other strategy that's going to teach them how to be more confident. But I don't believe that that's the real problem. I believe your voice has been shaped by unconscious survival patterns that once kept you safe, but now keep you hidden. And that's why I created my free voice archetype quiz. In just 2 minutes, you'll discover the unconscious pattern that's been quietly shaping how you trust yourself, use your voice, and share your gifts so you can stop second guessing yourself and start remembering the woman whose voice was there all along. Visit quiz.sarah-asharose.com and take the quiz today. Okay, we are back with Asia. And if you want to check out that quiz, there's the QR link right there. It's pretty fascinating that we as human beings have developed these protective patterns that keep us from feeling pain, and we aren't quite aware of them because we're inside of them. So if you want to find out more how to release those, check out that quiz. It's really helpful. Okay. So since we've unleashed this wisdom about it's really the truth of who we are, isn't it? That we are
Absolutely.
electrical and magnetic, and we're
Magnetic.
sort of under the spell and this illusion that we are separate, that we're disconnected from the universe, that we're, just sort of like functioning without any control, that we're not creators, that we're not creator beings,
Yeah. Yeah, and we're just walking around like zombies. Yeah, and so, well, and it's programming, right? That's how conditioning programming, as you well know, and belief patterns that were set by the age of 5 years old. So, and so that we're here to break all those, right?
Right, and to
And
reteach and relearn
yeah,
and more. Yeah.
yeah,
So how do we
and
protect
that's what
ourselves?
we're doing. We need to absolutely. And so we're coming back to all this magnetic and electrical energy. We do have to protect ourselves, right? And we were
So how do
talking
you do
for
that?
the commercials. So this is a technique that Saint Germain gave me, because the dark, I'm going to call it the dark current that runs through the earth, and likes to mess with people. So in I've done many different kind of protections over my life, but this one is so powerful. He came in very strong and said,
Mm,
this is what you're going to do,
mm,
and just keep doing it." And I've shared it with my Avalon group. So again,
mm,
back to your spark right behind your crystalline heart. That's the violet flame. That never goes away.
mm,
That is directly linked to source through your higher self, monad, source. Okay, so
mm.
isn't that great? That's why the dragons are always saying, "Go to your spark,"
So
and
that's
they
your direct
remind you
link?
by putting fire in your heart.
That's like your direct link,
Yeah.
is what you're
So
saying.
this every lifetime that you live, that's your direct link, right? Right behind, right? It's right behind your sternum.
Mm.
So you visualize that flame, and that flame comes up and it goes all around your body. It
Wow,
goes through
okay.
your body. So it's all violet, the most beautiful violet flame. And it's a very transmuting, very protected flame. So you
Mm,
visualize it's like this gigantic violet flame around your body.
mm.
Then the second step is you connect to source. You're through your monad, and you draw a beautiful white radiant light that comes around that violet flame in a big circle. Like, take your arm, okay? And so now that's grounded, and that goes straight down to that crystal and grounds into the earth.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
That's step 2. Step 3 is the protection, and we call in Archangel Michael for this. And I use, so sapphire light is his color, sapphire, dark, that deep blue. And I put like a crystal ball of blue around the white, right? So that nothing can get through, right? It's not just light, it's a crystal ball of sapphire light. Now, Saint Germain says sometimes that can really put people.
Oh, we lost you for a second. I hope you come back. Let's pull Asia back in, everybody. Connecting. Asking for a source to bring her back. So if you are watching and you have any questions for Asia listening to this and you're enjoying these practices, oh, she disappeared. Hopefully she'll reconnect. If you're enjoying watching this, you have any questions about some of the practices that she's mentioned as far as grounding and the violet flame and your monad and how to do that, keep them coming because we'll pull them on the screen when we can ask her. There, she's back. I was worried for a second.
See, so I have to be really, because not just this connect, because I still have all my Wi-Fi's here, no problem. Sometimes if I get going with the energy,
yes, yeah,
I asked the dragons to be here, so I apologize to everyone.
That's happened to me before. Speaking light language, it'll knock out the audience. Yeah,
it'll knock it out. So my apologies to everyone. So where I was the sapphire light. So Saint Germain says sometimes that will kind of push people away. So the next level is to put little violet flames on the outside of the crystal ball. And that is a little more gentle and allows people to go, okay, I can handle this person's energy.
Wow. So how often would you recommend doing that? Every morning or?
I do it every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah.
So you have a grounding practice every morning and the protection practice every morning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I call my team in, right? I don't make prayers. I call my team in and I ask for help, right? I ask them to help me clear distortions, make my Wi-Fi keep going.
Yes, I asked for that.
You know, because you can call on them, clear densities, however you want to word it, right? Because remember, this planet is still a free will planet. And so we have to ask to receive the help.
Right. I think we forget that it's okay to ask. Some people feel guilty, I think, for asking, that they're busy. It's
no,
we're supposed to ask.
We're supposed to ask, and Isis and Saint Germain have both said the same thing. We are a breath away.
Yes. Well, we're infinite, so there's no time, right?
We're quantum.
So since the topic is about spiritual tools, and you work with the Quantum Soul Codex, can you tell people what that looks like if you were to work with them, and how they could use that in their life without necessarily as typical astrology of what I should do, but more how to use it to transform their life?
Absolutely. So the Quantum Soul Codex is just that. The quantum, you have a soul, and the moment that you chose to be born from Christos Sophia, you were born with a codex. That codex carries through your lifetimes. That never goes away, kind of just like your little spark. It's coded in your DNA, and your DNA, that's where your higher self resides. So what I do is we do an astrology chart based on your birth time and birthplace. and your birthday. And through that, the mantis have showed me how I see it multidimensional. So we see the timelines that have been your patterns through lifetimes, right? And I like to just call them timelines.
Like reoccurring patterns.
Yeah. And so what we do, I focus heavily on your north node, which is your highest destiny, your south node, which was all these other timelines, and you're really good at it. And it's not probably serving you that well anymore. And then we work with Cryon, the wounded healer, because she is so powerful. So those three are always the introduction, and we work like pages worth. It averages about 24 to 30 page write up when I do these codexes. But here's where it deviates from regular astrology, other than like really focusing on what you did in your other timelines, which would be your south node, to where you need to really be focused in this lifetime, your north node. And oftentimes that is layered on a multidimensional layer with Cryon. Then we go into your aspect. What we do is, on all of that, we look at the shadows of the aspects. Okay, so an aspect, you have a chart, and you have planets all around, and you have houses all around, and they have aspects. Like say Jupiter opposite Uranus. That's an aspect, okay, in your chart. That doesn't go away. It's not a transit. Transits are planets coming around your aspects. So we take that and we look at what shadow is created from that, depending on the house, right? I'll talk about one specifically. And then we take the shadow and we say, okay, what's the embodied pathway to that? So it is a really learning, it's a technique to help a person move from shadow to authentic embodiment of their truth.
Right. So the things they sort of struggle in this life that they can't break free, that they keep on sort of falling into, you're helping them to see it from a different lens. Like this was encoded into your blueprint. You took it in with you to alchemize it, to transform it. And here's the highest path to do that kind of.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it. And so, it's such it's really magical. People are like, how do you know this about me? I'm like, it's in your codex.
It's there.
Let's take one example, 8th house, okay? Yes. If you have anything in your 8th house, and if you have any aspect, meaning a square, trine, opposition, you have a persecution wound. That you carry. Yeah, she knows it. We've talked her quantum soul codex, and so this is a great signature. And I'd say about 95% of the people I work with have the persecution wound. Sarah, this is one of Sarah's beautiful. Some of the great work she does is about your voice. So we really dive deeply into that 8th house, and I do activations to clear that throat chakra, because, and this goes back to Atlantis, okay? It goes way, way back, where the power-hungry beings got power-hungry, destroyed Atlantis, right? Destroyed Lemuria.
That came up in my reading when we did that, right? That all
it did, it did. And so we locked our throats unintentionally. We're like, it's too dangerous, that knowledge. Well, we thought we were doing good. We actually were very detrimental for lifetimes to come, because then you could see when Mary Magdalene was alive with Yeshua and she was persecuted, it was from this time loop of persecution.
And the witch hunt.
And then the witch hunt, the witch burnings. And so we created a time loop. And so we're working now, and I'm working here in Italy, specifically cutting those time loops, because where I am was the last witch burnings. And so I'm currently working on cutting those. So that's a prime example. So we would look at your shadows of what's going on in your 8th house, and then I would show you through the words and through activation and light language how
Okay.
to clear that
That's
to
that's what
embody
you
it.
do is fascinating. I wanna take a moment, if anyone's watching, if they have any questions for Asia of how to use the north or south node, or if you know your north or south node and you know where your client is in, and you
Yeah.
wanna pop it up and have her take a look at that and just give you some feedback on that. Some of you might not know your astrology. Tell people how they can find out their chart real quick if they wanna pull that up.
A really great resource is astro.com,
Yeah,
free astrology. Put your information, you can create an account with them, and it's totally free. It's awesome. I mean, I used to have to handwrite
I know.
charts back in
I
the
know,
90s.
the
So this,
ephemeris, right?
yeah,
The
yeah. Oh, yeah. Here.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Ah,
always with me.
yeah,
Yeah. And you can just go to astro.com, and it is pretty important to know the time you're born.
yeah.
Within an hour is okay, because the every 2 hours the planets shift, right?
Mm.
So the sign shifts, I should say. So yeah,
And
that's how you can find out.
I haven't so here's another question I'm being called to ask for people who are new to astrology and they're like, "Oh, it's not, it's a fake science." Or what do you have to say to those people who are uncomfortable, who are new at it, or maybe like a little skeptical?
Okay, so I will warn you: be careful on social media, because of a lot of the astrology you're hearing is not real. Okay, they're
Right.
doing it for sensation, they're doing it for clicks, they're doing it for numbers, right? So be very discerning when you are listening to that stuff, and that it
Mm.
can put people off. And I will puts me off. Like, no, yeah. So astrology is an ancient science. This goes back, so the Vedas, right? The Vedic astrology is ancient.
Mm.
So in ancient India, you can't even put a time limit on it, right?
Mm.
So it was all channeled. They were shown how to do these sciences, help people. So it and they to
So
Vedic
it's ancient.
astrology.
It's
It's
ancient
so
wisdom.
ancient, and they
Yeah.
still use it today. I mean, they use it in, like, they're probably even more predictive than I don't like doing predictive astrology, because we have free will, right?
That's
But
right, that's what I was talking about before, how we're everything's constantly shifting, that's why predictive stuff, it's like it could be true one moment and change the next moment, right?
exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just had someone wanted me to do really specific questions, and I'm like, I can't. I said we could do a QHHT session. We could talk to your higher self. But
yeah,
this, what we're showing is your patterns, and
yeah.
this and
It's really
patterns.
more important than because 'cause you're creating your
Yes,
reality, so it's better to know what you're repeating and how to free yourself from that than what's gonna
yes,
happen tomorrow, right? Yeah,
and that's south node, and you are repeating your south node, right?
right, sweet,
So
okay,
take
yeah.
an example of someone that has their south node in Aries, and then their north node in Libra, because they're opposite, right?
That's my daughter, she has that. Yeah.
So Aries is it's the lone wolf, it's the warrior, it is the person that knows how to
So
do
that's what
everything
they're
on their own.
So the north node is what you're here to master, what you're here to learn, and the south
Yes,
node is what you came from. So my
you've done
south
it.
is Pisces and my north is Virgo. So
Hmm.
the Pisces is all the spiritual, that's very familiar for me, and the Virgo is all like the organization, all the
Precision. I call it the
secret.
precision
Yeah,
priestess, right? Yeah,
right,
to really lock in, to
right,
be able to create form of all that deep spiritual esoteric
right, because it's an earth
knowledge.
sign, right. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So
yeah.
you're really grounding it. Hmm.
Right. So actually also explains the concept of the show, right? Because it's the Pisces, divinely human. It's the Pisces, and it's very interesting, right? I'm telling
Yeah.
you, people, there's so much you can gain from working with Asia, or diving deep into this. It's just understanding more about you. That's really all it is. It's not to tell you who you are. It's just another tool to access things that maybe we can't see, right? Like blind spots, you know?
Yeah. And it's a remembrance of you, your
That's right.
codex. That's the beauty of it. It's
Right.
like you are remembering you, and that's what we're here to do from a
Right.
place of love, right?
And
And
sort
so
of
it's
like, and the codex, it's almost like what you chose. Like we come, like, don't we come in, like we choose what we want to work on, you know?
yes, that's
Right.
why when you see a chart that has a lot of cardinal signs and a lot of squares, right, which is a
Mm.
90-degree, that's inner tension, and the cardinal sign shows me on a multidimensional level that you chose this lifetime to um, work on releasing karmic debt.
Oh.
Okay, if there's a lot of fixed signs, you're releasing karmic patterns. If there's a mutable
Mm.
and you got a lot in there, then I really caution, okay, let's not do any more patterns. And so you know what I mean? So those are those are much different than mundane astrology. So I'm really looking, the mantis showed me how to go. It's flat on a piece of paper, but we look at it like a globe,
Yeah.
right? And we
Right.
look at like how everything intersects.
Mm. Right. Because it's all you chose that to come home to a fuller version of yourself, right?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's why we're here. So, if someone wanted to, by the way, if you guys have any questions, we're wrapping up in a couple of minutes, so please ask those questions. If someone wanted to work with you, how would they do that? How would they
Well,
reach
there's a
out
few
to you?
different ways you could get in touch with me. So my website is the crystal cave
And we have it
codex.com.
here on scrolling on the bottom.
Oh, good. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's great. And then, and so I have different activations on there, but it's not, my website doesn't fully have everything that I do. And then Instagram, you can also go to my bio, which is Asia Ascending, and you can find me there too. So the codex is on there. It's a 2-hour session to start. It includes a light language activation with the mantis, dragons, and usually Isis comes in at the end, depending.
Amazing. Yeah.
Sometimes Mary.
And I've worked
And then, so yeah, and from there we usually work into mentorships, and then we go really specific, because I do spiritual life coaching where we work on, from the quantum soul codex, from your codex, we dive into where to find within yourself your authentic remembrance of you.
That's really
And it's
beautiful.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
worked with Asia before, and um, it is really beautiful because she channels as well. So
Yeah.
I want to thank
Yeah.
you for today's conversation. I think it was pretty organic, and I love talking about thoughts, and especially that not all of our thoughts are ours.
Are ours. And there's her book. Your book is
There's
up.
my book. Yes. Don't forget to check
It's
out Return to
fabulous, by
Remember.
the way, everyone. It's
Have you
totally
been reading
wonderful.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so, yeah, I couldn't remember the name the other day. I was like,
Ah. Return to Remember. Yeah, there's the QR code if you want to check it out. Somebody asked me if they could purchase an audiobook. I have not recorded that yet. That's coming soon. So let's close out the show. If you had to give one bit of wisdom, what would that be for everybody? One last bit of wisdom.
always speak from your heart.
Yes, love it.
Always speak from your heart. Before you open this, open this.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me today, Asia. And if you'd like to connect to Asia more, you can go to her website. You can also check out sarahasharose.com, check out my quiz, connect to me on social media. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that little bell so you can be reminded. I'm live every Tuesday at 12. I'll see you next week. And remember that you are divinely human. We love you so much. Connect. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. However this episode met you, I hope it reminded you of something you already knew, underneath the noise, that you are exactly where you need to be. Until next time, remember, you are and have always been divinely human.